Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Rawb here, nice to see you. Yes, it certainly is. So, going to be doing another best of three in this video. Going to currently just get set up real quickly. After the bad loss of the Charizard team that didn't quite go as well as I'd hoped. That was with Shadow, very good battles, very much enjoyed it. I think that certain team needs a little bit of updating in the current meta. It was very weak to Incineroar. I had a lot of trouble with that. I feel like I was on the back foot constantly, but it's fine. I learned a lot, and I also enjoyed myself very much. But I'm going to be using my Gyarados team right now. I've removed the Life Orb for Lum Berry again. I didn't like the recoil damage that much. I also might turn it into a bulky Moxie Gyarados. Because it does have nuzzle support, so it doesn't always need the speed boost as much. But today, I'm going to be doing a best of three with Seung, I think his name is. Sorry if I mispronounced that, my friend. Not quite sure what sort of team he's going to be using, but we will find out. And again, this will be a best of three. If one of us wins 2 in a row, then obviously there'll be no third game. Yep, there we go. So let's have a look here. I need to pick my team first. Let's pick the team. Currently thinking about building some sort of Lapras team as well. Could remove Gyarados for Lapras possibly. Is an option. Yeah, have a little think about that. I want to have a look at Gyarados a bit more. I really like Gyarados and I want to make it work. Just not sure if it works in the current meta, but there we are. So let's see what young Seung has got. So he's got Toxicroak, Gigalith, nice, Runerigus, Obstagoon, and Rotom Heat. I like that team. That's different. Possibly Runerigus could be setting up Trick Room, so I need to be wary of that. Obstagoon probably has Defiant, Anti-Intimidate user, so I need to be wary of that as well. I think Incineroar in the back looks pretty nice though. Rotom also looks pretty decent, to be honest. I think I'm going to leave Raichu Milotic, though. Is there any electric types there on his team? Yeah, it's got the Rotom, but I think I'm going to leave Raichu Milotic. I'm going to bring... Do I need Gyarados? I mean, I do want Gyarados. Champ. The Champ looks nice here as well. I think I definitely... No, I don't want Rotom. I'm going to bring Gyarados and Machamp, I think. Alright, let's go with those 4. Well, we'll soon find out. Could also replace Incineroar with Hitmontop. Is also another possibility. Yeah, but we'll see. Maybe I'll lead with the Obstagoon. Expects me to bring in Incineroar. Not quite sure. Toxicroak and Obstagoon. So he did expect me to lead the Incineroar there. And I've got Milotic and Raichu. Toxicroak can learn Fake Out. And it's got Air Balloon. I'm going to Fake Out the Toxicroak. And I'm going to Gold the Obstagoon. If I had Icy Wind, I wouldn't be able to go for it either. Just go for the Obstruct. It's fair enough. That's a pretty safe play. This will tell me whether or not it's going to be Flame Orb or Defiant. Any burn damage? No burns. That is Defiant then. I'm going to nuzzle that slot. I don't see a reason. Yeah, I'm going to nuzzle the Obstagoon because it's fastest Pokemon there. And I think I'm going to Ice Beam the Toxicroak. If I had Icy Wind on Milotic, I wouldn't be able to go for it in case, you know, otherwise I'd be boosting the Obstagoon. So that'd be bad. Toxicroak just goes for Brick Break onto Raichu. It's interesting. And the Obstagoon is paralysed, which is really good for me. I mean, my sash is broken now. So I think I'll finish off the Obstagoon with a Volt Tackle. They'll probably take it out. And I'm going to go for Scold on the Obstagoon. I mean, why not? I feel like I'm in a pretty good position here. Rocking the Pokeball t-shirt as well. Pokeguy t-shirt. Actually withdraws the Toxicroak. And brings in Runerigus. It's a good play because I did Volt Tackle that slot. Nice. And I just get my Scold off onto Obstagoon. I'm looking in a good position here, really. Obstagoon just goes for a knockoff onto Raichu. It does take me out. Neither of us have Dynamaxed yet. I'm going to bring in Machamp. And I'm going to knock off the Runerigus. So let's knock off the Runerigus. Good double onto that slot, actually. I hope it's not weakness policy. Just goes for an Obstruct on Obstagoon. That's a safe play, but I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. Hoping this isn't weakness policy Runerigus. Even if it is, it's too late. That will just finish it off. Yeah. Good. But Machamp loses its no guard now. And it was actually Focus Sash. That's interesting. I haven't seen my opponent's last Pokemon yet. So he just brings out the Toxicroak again. Honestly, Milotic's in a really great position, and he doesn't seem to be able to damage it. Champ's in a little bit of a pickle, to be honest. I think I'm gonna switch out with Champ because I've got the Wandering Spirit that I don't want. Bring Gyarados, and I'm just gonna Scold the Obstagoon. One thing I have found with Gyarados, and if you are using the Moxie Gyarados, I've found that waiting to bring it out late game has been really effective opposed to leading outright with it. Just goes for the fake out as well into that slot. Didn't quite get the KO, and it just goes for that knockoff onto Milotic. Just get rid of my leftovers, which is irritating. Honestly, I'm in a great position here to Dynamax. I'm just going to max Airstream the Toxicroak, give me a +1 speed and attack boost. And I'm just going to Scold the Obstagoon again. Because I'm in a solid position here. You know, so I think I'm good. My opponent hasn't really been able to check a lot of my Pokemon so far, which is good for me. You know, I've got fortunate with the type matchup. But it'd be interesting to see what my opponent's last Pokemon is. Just to note though, I think he is still learning about the metagame and how competitive works. But it's still great practice for both of us, especially him. Just goes for a Gunk Shot onto Milotic. Oh, that does hefty damage. And poisons me. Wow. That deals some damage. Well, that has put me in a good position, no, that's for sure. Milotic's kind of on its last legs. Recovering that slot could have been beneficial because I could have taken out the Obstagoon next turn and picked up another Moxie boost. But it's not to worry. It has come down to 3 versus 1 now. I've got 2 turns left of Dynamax. My opponent currently hasn't shown his Dynamax yet. Milotic has fainted, so it's now 2v1. I've got Machamp in the back still, so I'm looking pretty safe. Machamp is nice and healthy. Also still got that Assault Fest on there as well, so it's just Gigalith. Right, so I have to be careful there because obviously Gyarados doesn't have a great matchup there. I expect it to be weakness policy Gigalith. So I think I'm going to max guard Gyarados. And I'm going to knock off the Gigalith. So I don't set up any weakness policy. Doesn't actually Dynamax. And it is weakness policy. Just goes for the rock slide. Probably think my opponent should have Dynamax there. Would have been better. But it's just my opinion. I've only got one turn left of Dynamax, so that is something to take note of. I'm just going to go for a Max Geyser and get rid of the sand. Not that it really matters because these are both physical attackers. I might as well just Dynamic Punch that slot as well. So my opponent actually didn't Dynamax, which is interesting. But good game to Seung. We're going to go to match 2. So we'll go over to match 2 and we'll see what sort of changes Seung brings to his lead up. I'm guessing he just didn't see the point of Dynamaxing, which is fair enough. Yeah, might as well receive the lead card. I'd like to collect those. So let's play the same rules and look for... see what happens in game 2. Right. Let's have a look at the team again. See if there's anything I could have done differently as well. To be honest, I liked my lead. I think it was pretty solid and safe. I don't want to lead Incineroar because of the Obstagoon. So I think I might go the same lead. Unless I want to bring Gyarados this time. Which is an option. I think I will actually. I think I will. And Champ was also really nice. Rotom would be good, but the Toxicroak obviously scares my Rotom a lot, so there is that. Gunk Shot will just completely wreck Rotom. Obviously, Gouda probably having Flamethrower as well. Obviously, I don't have a good matchup against the opposing Rotom. But Rotom checks the Gigalith, the Runerigus and the Obstagoon. Well, I don't really think that's enough warranty to bring it. So I think I'm just going to bring my Milotic in the back. I think I'm going to go with the same 4. Just going to lead them slightly different. But see what changes. See if any. See if my opponent made any changes. But we shall see. Toxicroak and Runerigus. So slight change there. Could have definitely left with Incineroar. Right, I'm going to fake out Toxicroak. And I reckon, honestly, I'm going to max... I mean, this team is quite slow, I think. Yeah, the only thing that would outspeed me would probably possibly be Obstagoon. And the Rotom Wash. I'm going to double into the Toxicroak anyway. I know the Runerigus is focus seshed. Could set up Trick Room. I'm going to do it anyway. Just in case he doesn't set up the Trick Room. But it seems a pretty safe matchup for me there. But I am using up my Dynamax slot early in this matchup compared to the last game when I saved it for later in the game. So I do get my Fake Out off. Maybe it doesn't carry Protect on his Toxicroak. That will give me a Moxie plus speed boost. I'm intrigued to see whether or not the Runerigus is going to be setting up Trick Room here or just be going for an Earthquake. If it's setting up Trick Room, then that could be problematic for me. But we shall see. And it does set up the Trick Room. I mean, I couldn't even one-hit it. Brick Break doesn't affect it, and I know it's Focus Sash. But it has turned speed around, which is a bit of a bummer. And brings in the Gigalith as well. Just to add insult to injury. Right. I'm going to nuzzle the Gigalith slot. And I think I'm going to go for a Max Guard on Gyarados. And waste a turn of Dynamax. I expect him to want a Dynamax here. But yeah, Seung has definitely made greater adjustments this game, that's for sure. Doesn't actually go for a Gigantamax and just protects. Interesting. Runeriggers just goes for a Rock Slide. Okay. And I missed the... Alright, so that was a peculiar turn. Well, I think I'm going to stick to my same gun. I'm gonna max guys with it now. Probably my best bet. I expect to see Dynamax now. Obviously, I'm going to be setting off its weakness policy as well, which is not good for me. Might have been better off sticking with my same lead. Haven't got Incineroar either. So this is a game where Incineroar would have actually been really good. It does go for that max Rockfall. It probably will take me out, unfortunately. Oh, actually targets the Raichu. I'm alright with that, actually. Just go for the Rock Slide. That's fine. Doesn't do a lot of damage. I'm going to get rid of the Sand. Obviously, though, I'm setting off its weakness policy now, which is bad. Gigalith is now extremely bulky. Well, not as bulky now the Sand's gone, but it's extremely fast and extremely strong right now. But it's also a big threat. I'm going to bring in Milotic now though, because Gigalith has to decide which one it wants to take out. I love seeing these two Pokemon next to each other because they're like literally opposites of one another. It's really funny. How many turns left of Trick Room? So I've got 2 turns left of Trick Room. I think I need to double into Gigalith. And I need to try take it out. I don't think he'll go for a Max Guard because it'd be a waste of Dynamax when you're at +2 attack as well. Runeriggers shouldn't be able to take out either of these Pokemon, but obviously Gigalith can, which is fine. Well, I mean, it's not fine, but there's also not a lot I can do about it. I could have protected one, but then I risk protecting the wrong one and attacking with the wrong one. So that I felt like was safer. Milotic actually avoids the Rock Slide, which is really good. And Skull just takes out the Gigalith, which is really nice for me. There is 1 turn left of Trick Room. And I feel like I'm in a pretty decent position here. That did get a little bit scary though because of the Gigalith. I know Toxicroak is... No, Toxicroak's not in the back. I fainted that, didn't I? So we're about to see my opponent's last Pokemon, which is the Rotom Heat. That's alright, because I am Assault Fest on my Machamp. I'm going to protect Milotic here. And I think I'm going to Dynamic Punch the Rotom. I should be faster than it. Actually, am I going to be slower than Rotom? Unless it's min speed Rotom. Well, most people don't run there. No, I'm going to protect. It's difficult. I think I'm going to double attack Rotom. Because I know Machamp's going to be slower than Rotom. Probably. I would have thought. Ah, protects it. Good call. Runerigus just goes for a body press. It does decent amount of damage. Good play though, my opponent there. Right. I'm going to protect Milotic now, I think. I'm not worrying about the Runerigus too much. I'm going to protect Milotic, and I'm going to Dynamic Punch the Rotom. I could go for a Stone Edge, but I think I want to get the confusion off on it more. So it does go for the Thunderbolt onto Milotic slot. I get my Dynamic Punch off. Does a nice chunk of damage. That's great for me. Bullet Punch after Sandstorm damage will probably take it out. Runerigus just goes for a Body Press onto Machamp. Does a fair chunk of damage. That thing has super high defense. Right, I'm going to recover Milotic now, I think. And I'm going to go for a knockoff onto Runerigus. Hopefully the Rotom bit hit itself. Nope, doesn't. Just goes for a Thunderbolt onto Milotic. It does take me out as well, that's unfortunate. So this game's going to be very close. Oh, it's actually Life Orb Rotom. So Rotom actually just takes itself out. So it's come down very close here. Very, very close indeed. Ah, no, now I've got Wandering Spirit as well. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to win this one now. Because Knockoff isn't going to take out the Runerigus now because it has no held item. I need to hope for a crit knockoff. That's literally the only thing I've got is a crit knockoff. Ah, so close. No crit. Good game to my opponent. So we're going to go on to the third game, which is exciting. Very exciting indeed. Right. So that came down right close to the wire there. Very good changes my opponent made there. Very, very good changes. That was very exciting. That was very close indeed. Yeah. Very good, good. Good job. So we'll go on to match 3 now. Now I need to see if there's any changes I could make. Obviously the Runerigus gave me a lot of problems. Trying to have a little bit of a think here. There's a problem with at least one Pokemon in this battle team. That doesn't make any sense because I literally just used it. I might need to reload the lobby then. Alright, so I'll tell you what, I'm going to quickly restart my game then. I'm going to restart my game and pause the recording, and I'll pick it up again when it starts working. So hopefully I'll see you all very soon.
A few moments later.
Right, so we are back and it is now working. So there we go. Don't quite know what the issue is, but it was telling me something was wrong with my team, even though I was literally just using it in the battle. But I've restarted my internet, restarted the Switch, and that seems to have fixed it. Not quite sure what the issue was. Obviously, Trick Room was my problem last time, so I need to take that into consideration. He also didn't bring the Obstagoon, so maybe Incineroar could be used now. I think I am going to lead with... I'm going to leave Raichu Milotic. And I'm going to bring in Incineroar as well as Machamp, I think. I don't think I'm going to bring Gyarados. I'm going to try that. Let's go for it. I don't think this is... I'm not quite sure, convinced this is going to be a good idea because... Obviously, Gyarados is my main Dynamax user on this team. It's weird. Gyarados has now got Life Orb. Because it had Lum Berry before. Or did it have Life Orb? I'm not sure. Either way, I'm not bringing it, so it doesn't matter. It's weird though. I don't know what the issue was. Or what was going on right there, but whatever. So, Runerigus and Toxicroak. And I've got Raichu and Milotic. Right, so I'm definitely fake out in the Toxicroak slot. I can't let it go for a fake out. It's just not viable. And I'm just going to Scald the Runerigus and break its sash. That seems pretty safe to me. Can't let it keep its sash. Cool, it does so much damage. Burn. No burn, unfortunately. And he just sets up Trick Room straight away. Interesting. I'm going to nuzzle the Toxicroak slot. And I'm going to go for another Scald into Runerigus. There's no reason not to. It just goes for a body press onto Raichu. Doesn't do that much damage. As much as I thought it would do, actually. I'm slower than the Toxicroak, so that's good to know. Gotten rid of that Runerigus, though, so I'm really happy about that. That thing was a pain last time. It just goes for a Brick Break, which is a interesting choice of item, to be honest. Right, I'm going to bring in Machamp next. I don't want to stick in Incineroar in case he puts in Obstagoon. So it is the Gigalith, though. Right. My opponent definitely has the upper hand here because of the Trick Room. Obviously, I'm going to knock off the Gigalith, and I'm going to protect Milotic. I do have Incineroar in the back, which I haven't shown yet. I'm hoping my opponent probably assumes I have the Gyarados as the last slot, because it is my general Dynamax user. But if I have to Dynamax Incineroar or Milotic, then I can. Although Incineroar's probably going to look like the more likely candidate for that. But we shall see. So he does use his Dynamax. I expect them to possibly target down the Milotic slot more than the Machamp slot. That's probably the more bigger threat. Especially if I consider Dynamax it, because I am a bulky physical. I'm fully invested in physical attack on my physical defense on my Milotic. Although I need to knock off that weakness policy though. Just goes for a Steel Strike into Machamp actually. Good play. Gives itself a defense boost as well. I do have that Incineroar in the back. And I'm slower than Toxicroak as well, which is nice. Ah, no, it doubled into Machamp. Good play by my opponent. Good play. Very good play. Right. I need to decide what to do now. Obviously I've got to bring in Incineroar. No choice now. But getting the -1 on both of these physical attackers is great for me. Obviously I am weak to Toxicroak. I am going to fake out that slot. No reason not to. It's a safe bet. And I'm going to Dynamax Milotic and go for a Max Geyser into Gigalith. Remove its special defense boost from the sand. As well as hit it for some hard damage. I suppose Milotic does make a great Dynamax candidate. So it actually withdraws Toxicroak. Fair play. Brings in Rotom. Obviously I need to be wary of Rotom as well because Raichu isn't on the field anymore. So that means there's no Obstagoon in the back. Not that it matters, I can't switch out anymore anyway. Milotic is a nice fat Pokemon as well. Fake Out's still doing a nice chunk of damage. Just goes for a Max Knuckle into Incineroar, I assume, gets attack boost. Oh no, it does it into Milotic. Interesting. Because I do take that extremely well. Does bring itself back up to neutral. I get off my Max Geyser into Gigalith. Does a fair chunk of damage. I'm alright with that damage for sure. I've also changed the weather now. Right. Now what do I want to do here? Honestly, I think Parting Shot the Rotom would probably be the best bet. As well as Max Geyser in it, because I will be... Is Trick Room still up? It is, isn't it? Alright, let's go with that. The Gigalith is still really... Actually withdraws the Rotom. Called because it's going to be Dry Skin for sure. Called that swap nicely. And goes for a Max Rockfall. Onto Incineroar. Does just take me out. Very well played by my opponent there. For sure. Because that has wasted a turn of my Dynamax. Because that is going to be Dry Skin in Toxicroak, isn't it? Yeah. Very good play by my opponent. Very good play. Don't think there's a lot I can do here, to be honest. I'm not in a very good position. Got the Rotom left in the back, obviously. Dimensions have returned to normal. Not that that helps much. Should have saw that coming. Why I didn't attack the Gigalith slot, I don't really know. In hindsight, that seems a little bit silly. I mean, I'm going to Max Geyser it anyway, because if I have any chance of winning, I need the rain up. Obviously, I know the Toxicroak can heal off it, but it also boosts my water type moves for the Rotom Wash a lot. Gigalith just goes for the Protect. That's fine. I'm more concentrate on getting the... Just goes for the Gunk Shot. Does a lot of damage. No poison, luckily. Right. I have removed the sand though. But I'm now giving Toxicroak a way to heal. So my opponent definitely has played this very well. Really, I should have had Gyarados, I suppose. But it's definitely been a great best of 3. Well, I've been put into a corner here badly. And I don't think I'm going to be able to come out of it. I mean, I could try a freeze the Toxicroak, I suppose. Fortunately, it doesn't miss a gunk shot because it's only like 70 accuracy, I think. Oh, it does so much damage. Yeah, so this is probably going to be ending me. Obviously, no competitive boost. Makes me very weak. Yeah. So, good game to my opponent. Very well played. Very enjoyable, though. Very much enjoyed it. Yeah. Unfortunately, Seung definitely positioned his team much better the 2 second games. Obviously, completely outplayed me on the 3rd game, which is great. I mean, not great for me, but very great for him. Very much appreciated of the battles. So we're going to end that. So that was the best of 3. Thank you very much to Seung for the battles. Very much appreciated it. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys learned a lot as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all soon in a new video. Rawb out and goodbye.